Hi class, today is Thursday, April 8th, and today we're going to be talking about settings, where a story can take place. We read the Three Little Pigs story, version 1 and version 2, and I did post another story for you today just for fun, and it's the Three Little Pigs from the wolf's perspective. So we all think it's the big bad wolf, but what if we just were mistaken? So listen to that story and enjoy. But today we're going to be looking at how can we write a Three Little Pigs story if we changed a couple of things. We're going to change the animals, not three pigs and a big bad wolf, and we're going to change the place where the story takes place. So instead of writing your own setting today, I'm going to give you three options. You could choose to do your own, or you could do one of these. Here's the things you need to think about. If it was set in the ocean, what kind of animals could the three pigs become? Who would be the big bad wolf? If it was set in space, think of the same question, and in dinosaur time, the same thing. If it was set in the ocean, what kind of houses would they make, or what kind of things would they need to be building, and what kind of materials would they use to build those with? So let's take a look at what those could be. So in the ocean, it could be, instead of the three pigs, it could be the three little fish. Fish are abundant in the ocean, and what's going to want to eat them? Not a big bad wolf, but a big bad shark. So then my story would be called The Three Little Fish and the Big Bad Shark. My fish are looking for some place to be. They're looking for houses. So instead of building houses, maybe they could find houses that are good and not good. So maybe one house is near the sand, and one house is in some coral, and one house is in some weeds. If you had a house that was just a little pile of sand, do you think the shark could get in there and get you? So the shark's going to blow that house down or knock that house over. Do you think if you had a house that was in a bunch of hard coral, that's very hard rock-like substances that are in the ocean, do you think the shark could knock that over and get in there? Probably not. But if you were in the weeds, do you think the shark could get in there and find you? So I think in my story, the shark would be able to get through the sand, get through the weeds, but the coral one would be the house that stood. Then you can do a very simple retelling of your story that might go something like this. So, the three little fish and the big bad shark. Once upon a time, there were three fish that needed to find a place to live. The first little fish found a nice pile of sand, and he made a little hole in it, and he decided he would just live there on top of the sand. The second little fish found a big group of weeds. He thought that was a nice place to hide, so he hid in the weeds. And the third little fish, he thought this big holy coral would be great. It was just like a cave, so he swam inside there. Not too long later, a shark came along. He swam fast to the fish in the sand. The fish barely got away, and the sand house was destroyed. He swam quickly through the weeds, and the fish finally got away, but the weeds were a mess. The first fish and the second fish made it to their brother's house in the coral. The shark came and swam fast around the coral, but he didn't knock it over. He swam up and down on the coral, but he couldn't get inside. He got frustrated and swam away. The three little fish lived happily ever after. If you were in space, what kinds of things might you need? So you might not have three little fish. Maybe you have three astronauts or three spacemen. Maybe it's not a big bad wolf, but it's a big bad alien. The spacemen might need to have rocket ships, so they could live. What could we make the rocket ships out of? Well, maybe one could be made out of straw. We could use the ideas from the Three Little Pigs story. One could be made out of sticks, but the really good one's probably going to be made out of metal. Then you can imagine how that story might go if the big bad alien came to try to get the spacemen in their rocket ships. Which one would he be able to get through, and which one would they be safe in? Do a quick retelling of your story. You can say it out loud in a video and post it, or you can write it down and draw some pictures to go along. I thought dinosaur time would be a nice place to think about would be a little bit different. So if I have a big bad dinosaur, I might have 3 little dinos, like baby dinosaurs. And I might have a big bad T-Rex, because you know T-Rex is always the big bad dinosaurs in all the dinosaur movies. Then the dinosaurs are going to need a place to have their houses. So maybe one has a nest on the ground, and maybe one finds a hole in a tree. And maybe the third one finds a nice cave, and it could have a hidden door. So, you know, the T-Rex couldn't get in there, or maybe it would be too small and the T-Rex wouldn't fit in there. Then you could retell your story using the 3 little dinosaurs and the big bad T-Rex. And what ones would he not be able to get in? He would be able to get into the nest. He'd be able to knock over the tree and smash the hole open. But the cave with the hidden door, maybe the door is just big enough for the baby dinosaurs to get in, and the T-Rex just can't get in. And with those little tiny arms, he can't make it either. So that baby dinosaurs would be okay. Have some fun deciding what setting you want for your story, and then write or tell a story based on your setting. You should jot down on your whiteboard which one you're going to use, and if you want to add some different features than mine, maybe something different in the ocean or in space or in dinosaur time, you go right ahead, and I can't wait to hear your stories. Have a great day.